Hey everybody, I'm out here in the northern New Mexico, and I've got a few of these shattered solar panels. These were when we got them delivered and we were after the truck had left and we were unloading the pallet, we dropped these bifacial panels, the Hyperion bifacial panels, and they're about 450 watts a piece. And I got those on sale for a real bargain at Signature Solar, but they no longer carry this panel. And so rather than just throw these panels away or give them away or put them in the landfill, I thought that I would try to use a sealer on them, to waterproof sealer, in order to try to utilize these panels. So the sealer that I got is this stuff here. It's called Solar Guard, and it's an acrylic compound, and it's made specifically to seal solar panels. So I'm going to give this a try. And so in the online videos, and there's very few of them actually using this Solar Guard, so that's why I'm making this video, is that I'd seen where some people had just poured some of the solution onto the solar panels and then spread them out with a roller or a foam brush. And on the can here, it recommends that you use a Hudson sprayer, a garden sprayer, and then spread it out with a foam brush. So that's the method I'm going to try to use. I got a Hudson sprayer, and I don't really have a foam brush per se, but I do have a mini foam roller, which will allow me to kind of spread this stuff out. So let's take a look at the panels themselves. So you can see here that this is pretty badly shattered. It obviously had an impact right in this area, and there's been a lot of concerns online and people saying, well, even if you seal them, is that the cracks themselves can act as hot spots on the panel and cause it to short out. So I'm going to try to be aware of that as well. Let me show you another panel here. And this is one I've already done my first coat of treatment on. And you can see that it also has some shattering here. And you might be able to see a little bit of the surface from the solution that I've already rolled one coat onto this panel. Next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to actually check the panel and make sure that the panels themselves are good and generating voltage. So I'll go ahead and do my multimeter here, and I'm getting a reading of 35.58 volts, and we're in pretty good sun. There's just the shadow from the voltometer, and so that's a pretty good reading. It at least tells us that the panel is generating voltage and electricity. So again, I got a little over 35 volts reading on the voltometer, and I've touched the rim of the solar panel, and I didn't get shocked, so at least it's not grounding out through the edges anyway. So I'm going to assume that the panel is good, and so the next step is going to be to clean the panel with a window cleaner. So I just used some spray window cleaner on the paper towel here, and so that I wasn't spraying water or liquid onto the panel, because I don't want any water to get trapped in any of these cracks here. So I've got the panel pretty much wiped off, and it's pretty clean. And so we're ready for our next step, which is to apply the solution. Okay, I've got my Hudson sprayer here, And I'm just going to make sure it's got plenty of pressure in that. And actually it's almost too much pressure right now. Hopefully I'm not going to hit the blow-off valve on it when I go in and close it. And so that's pressurized in the Hudson sprayer. And I'm just going to give this a really light spray coat. Okay, just literally wet it down. So I've got that wetted down, and you can see that the kind of white stuff is there. And so I'm going to smooth this out as quickly as I can so that we don't get any beading. So I've got a foam roller here that I'm actually using like a foam brush. And I'm just drawing this down with the grain toward the edge. And you can see that even in this heat, whoops, there went the pressure release valve on the Hudson sprayer. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This dries fairly quickly, especially a black surface in the sun like this. Okay, I'm about to apply the second coat to the first panel here. And fortunately I had two Hudson sprayers because the one I was just using, it blew that pressure relief valve off and sent it ballistic. So it's somewhere in the yard. I looked for it for about 15 minutes, but gave up at that point. So I got another Hudson sprayer, and it's not quite as good as the other one, but there it is. I just sprayed a little bit of the solution on there, and I'm just gonna, again, squeegee it across with this foam roller and try to get as smooth a coat as possible. So don't expect a glass-like finish to the panel once it's sealed. You can actually see the material on the solar panel, and it's kind of soft and a little bit rubbery, kind of, you know, that acrylic. It is kind of an acrylic water-based solution. And so we'll look at the first panel here, and you can kind of see that it does give it kind of more of a matte reflection than a pure glass reflection. You can see the reflection of the shed there on it and reflection of the sky. And so that's two coats on that panel, about 45 minutes apart, maybe an hour apart, and in direct sunlight at 50 degrees Fahrenheit on a cloudless day. And of course I'll follow up later on once I get these panels racked up and see if they are indeed waterproof and not short-circuiting and are going to supply us with power, you know. And I'm going to try to place them in a place where if they do go on catch fire, that I can get to the shutoff and they're not going to start anything else on fire. So that's kind of the safety talk portion of our show. And so for the Sagebrush Journal, this is Jay Schaefer. Be sure to like and subscribe.